Zaid Jilani is on the line with us. He is a reporter with the United Republic's Republic Report. RepublicReport.org is the website, and they are doing just some spectacular investigative reporting. Zaid, welcome back to the program.
Yeah, great to be here, Tom.
Great to have you with us. Always great to have you with us. I found this absolutely mind-boggling that there are lobbyists who are working on behalf of enhancing the ability of private corporations to spy on us, and that a private corporation is paying these lobbyists to do this. Do I have this right?
Yeah, I mean, there's so the bill that's going to basically expand the government spying powers and the ability of private corporations to share your private information is called the Cyber Intelligence Sharing and Protection Act, or SISPA. Basically, we saw a couple months ago the Stop Online Piracy Act, which was SOPA, would go down in flames when the internet community plus the big tech companies decided that they would go up against the big Hollywood companies pushing this bill that would basically let the government or private firms also request your website to be shut down if they had any private information. The way that this bill is different is that it's more about information sharing. So let's say like a big tech company, or let's say you have like a Gmail account. Let's say that this company gets a request from a private security firm or for the government saying that you're doing something in your email that counts as a cybersecurity threat. That's very broadly defined. They can share that information on you, never let you know that you did it, and have no legal obstacle or any legal liability for doing that. And they can do that for virtually any reason under this bill.
Does that mean things like reading your emails?
Yeah, exactly. Your emails, so your bank or credit information. Let's say you have like an anonymous account where you leave comments on some website. Any sort of information basically that you would consider to be private would then be able to be shared between private security firms or the private corporations that are doing the servicing and also the government.
So if I'm an employer and I want to know if my employee Paul is flirting an email with my employee Jim, I can just ask some private security company to hack into their email and share that information with me, and under this piece of legislation, that would be legal?
As long as they can define it as a cybersecurity threat. And like I said, this is barely defined within the bill. I mean, there are a lot of people concerned that it'll do something similar to what SOPA was going to do, to where if they even think you're violating intellectual property, right, whether you're watching.
So if I think that Paul has sent a picture of somebody he shouldn't, let's say that I think that Paul sent a picture of you that was copyrighted to Jim, then bang, I have basis to have him nailed, and he would never know about it.
No, he would never know about it, and if he wanted to later bring up a lawsuit and say that this company shouldn't have been sharing my private information, I wasn't even in any way a cybersecurity threat, he couldn't do that because everyone would be immunized under this legislation.
Amazing. Poor Paul, he's answering the phone right now. He doesn't know we're talking about him. Jacob keeps looking over to see if there's a horrified look on his face. There isn't. In any case, the SOPA and PIPA went down in flames because, I mean, all of us in the netroots and the grassroots claimed it as a victory, but I'm a little more skeptical. I believe that it went down in flames because Google opposed it. It was basically Google versus Sony, and YouTube and whatnot versus Sony, and so therefore it didn't go through. In this piece of legislation, you have the Sonys of the world and the Facebooks and the Googles of the world all on the same side of it, or at least, I'm not making that as an assertion. I'm asking. Would they all be on the same side of it? Because ultimately, big corporations like to share information with each other.
No, I mean, they absolutely are all on the same side, and that's what's so scary. With SOPA, you had big companies like Facebook and Google actively protesting legislation. I mean, they had a day where Google was blacked out and everyone could click and email a member of Congress against legislation. Probably millions of people quickly learned about the legislation and took action to stop it. And it's a totally different case in this scenario, because with SOPA, basically, they were charging companies like Facebook and Google to police themselves against piracy, but this isn't actually going to cost those companies anything, so a lot of them are actually supporting it. Facebook, for example, hired a firm, a lobbying firm, Sakowitz and Blaylock, and they have about a little more than half a dozen lobbyists working on the bill. Almost every single one of them was actually in the government at one point or another. They're all, sort of members of the revolving door. They either worked for members of Congress or they worked for a White House, and they're all lobbying very intensely to get the bill through Congress. I mean, they're expected to probably get a vote on it this week, and it's actually working its way through a Rules Committee today. Although one bit of very positive news that happened today was that the White House actually issued a formal veto threat if the bill shows up in its current form on Obama's desk, because it said that it just sort of tips the line between sort of our safety and security and civil liberty. It just simply goes too far. So that's a very positive note on that end.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is basically all about corporations being able to spy on us, is it not?
No, I mean, that's exactly what it is. And I think one of the most key points in the White House's statement was that they're saying that they're treating cybersecurity as sort of a national security issue and taking it out of the realm of sort of the civilian realm. It's always been policy that, like, cybersecurity threats, you can deal with them like the Department of Justice, but this is almost treating it in sort of like a military fashion, right? Whereas, if you're labeled a cybersecurity threat, your information can be shared with the NSA, even if you are, at the end of the day, completely harmless.
But if I have this right, if Google decides I'm a cybersecurity threat and they ask, Google owns Gmail, they own YouTube. If they ask Facebook for some information and Facebook shares that information with Google and there's no government agency involved at all, is that legal under this bill?
From my understanding of it, yes, it is, because it allows private firms, security agencies, and government to share this information, freely and discreetly. You'll never know about it, and of course, legally, you have no legal recourse either.
Wow! In other words, it is literally the death of any small remnant of privacy we may have left on the internet.
Yeah, absolutely. As long as they can define you in some way as violating cybersecurity, which is as broad as can be, and it won't necessarily even have to be malicious. I mean, the internet is a constantly evolving technology, and sometimes it's really difficult to know whether someone's hacking or whether they're actually just sharing a file they own or using some sort of innovative social media or whatnot.
Right, and if I take a picture on my camera, how are they to know whether it's copyright or not? They'll still examine it to determine. Or if there was I get emails all the time that have photos embedded in them that I'm sure are in violation of copyright. It's, people grab some picture someplace and it just they send it out virally to everybody. And since I received it, even though I didn't send it, arguably I'm in violation of the law by being in possession of it. And so all of a sudden, my internet service provider, the mail provider, everybody involved is all welcome to talk to each other and share all they want about me, right?
No, I mean, that's absolutely correct. And
you started out by saying no, but you meant yes, right?
What I want to say is that the internet really, I think, is, it's an amazing frontier for people to share information, to sort of innovate and have new ideas. But really, I think what we're seeing, this is the SISPA, SOPA, all this, really, it's a neat way to attack Americans' privacy. I mean, we saw this when telephones came out. Obviously, we had a FISA court to handle sort of security with respect to how government spies on you on the telephone. And I think now we're seeing this on the internet. And I think the big difference between the two cases is we have many, many companies that can access the information in ways that you could never if you're talking about, sending letters or being on the telephone. But on the internet, you have all your information out there. So this sort of threat, I think, to Americans' privacy is it's never before seen.
Yes. And I will say yes, not no, but yes.
Yes.
Zaid Jilani, republicreport.org. Check it out. The story's all right there. Zed, thank you.